Tēnā koutou e hau e whā, kua haere mai nei ki tēnei wahi, ki te hui o te rā. E mihi ana, e mihi ana, e mihi ana, e mihi ana ki te tangata whanua. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Very pleased to see so many people here today. There's a lot of interest in this project. I'm just going to run you through the project from our point of view, from Port Marlborough, and to also give you a bit of an overview about some of the other things that we do as Port Marlborough, which is aimed at driving success for the region and New Zealand as a whole. And we take our role as facilitator of freight and trade very seriously. In fact, it's one of our core strategic pillars at the port. Waitohi Picton has served as a gateway for freight and passengers across the Cook Strait for generations. And the work that you'll hear about today, the work that we're doing with our customers and our other partners, we're making sure that we can continue to play that role for generations to come. The development that you'll hear about today underpins long-term inter-island connectivity, but it also builds on existing capacity and existing infrastructure. It also allows for future growth and the potential to capitalise on multi-user, multimodal hub concepts for our ferry operations in the future. And at this point, I'd just like to acknowledge another important customer of ours, and that is Bluebridge. We've been working with Bluebridge for the past few months to ensure that their operations are not adversely impacted by this project, and to ensure that they have additional space to grow now for their growing operations, but also flexibility to expand in the future. And I'm very pleased to be able to say that we have extended their existing lease and license until 2064 with us. So that should provide a whole lot more certainty for the market. So where are we at? We've been completing due diligence on design and program and costs with Ferry Holdings since their inception back in April last year. There is no part of this project that hasn't been scrutinised to ensure that we're not delivering practical, fit-for-purpose infrastructure. And that work builds on design and geotechnical investigations that we have done over several years. A project like this doesn't happen overnight. It takes months and years to develop the right solution. And we're at the point where we have a buildable solution, and we've moved from that first phase of design into the first phase of development, and that's what we'll show you now. So the first phase is early works. And early works enables us to get ahead and prepare for the main works contracts, which will happen later this year. What you'll see when you go, hopefully you're all going on the port tour, you'll see this in real life, and you'll see that we've started by the removal of the Aotearoa vehicle access bridge, the overbridge that is described by that dark line in Picton. So you'll see the impact that that's had on the skyline, and you'll also see that that work has been conducted in the KiwiRail yards. And that took a huge amount of collaboration and coordination with KiwiRail. And I think that proves real testament to the working relationship that we have with KiwiRail, that that went ahead seamlessly and has been completed so quickly. The next phase, which is happening sooner rather than later, is the transition berth. So this is the next cab off the rank, and it's construction of a transition berth for the existing inter-islander fleet. So what will happen here is you'll see at the bottom of that diagram, that vessel represents one of the existing inter-islander vessels, and that will moor on the eastern side of Long Arm number 1. On a series of dolphins that we'll be constructing, represented by those orange squares. What that does is it frees up that area that's described in yellow, in orange rather, and that means that we can attack at pace the construction of the new wharf, which is the main works contract. And it also means that Inter-Islander can continue to operate with minimal disruption to their operations through the project. All of this work is designed to be removed at the end of the project. This is all work that will go eventually. And all of that work lines us up for the main final stage of work, which is the main works construction. And that is building a new wharf, berth, and link span infrastructure. The new wharf will have auto mooring units. We'll have, as Chris said, double level, double width link span for quick loading and turnaround. We'll have passenger walkways, a gangway, and shore power connection. It's designed for 60 years. That's approximately 2 vessel cycles. And it has the ability for the other side to be used, and it's fit for purpose and flexible for future operations. So that's what we're building. Here are the benefits. There's a lot of them, quite small type. I won't go through them all. I'll just hit the highlights, which is it's a low-cost, practical solution. It's designed to be the lowest cost, but it's also designed with the customers in mind for smooth and efficient operations into the future. It builds on a whole lot of existing infrastructure, an existing port assets, existing connection to state highway and main trunk lines. It has all of those things and more, including existing customers. But it's also, as I said, designed for operational efficiency. And it brings certainty and continuity to the supply chain. Certainty because we've got government support and backing. Certainty because we're not disrupting or changing transport routes and using existing corridors, but also certainty in terms of pricing and fee setting, because we haven't talked about that, but what we will be using is Commerce Commission approved methodology for setting pricing going forward. What does that mean? It simply means that you will know what the pricing is like for the future, and it will be transparent to you how that is set for our users. So those are the benefits. That's the projects, and that's the major reason why we're here today. But now for some unashamed plugs and boasts of elsewhere around the pool. Which you won't, oh, there you go, you can see it. First up is our fleet. So as well as investing in ferry connectivity, we're also investing in resilience and marine capability. So last year we welcomed the tug Kiana. That's Port Marlborough's first ever brand new tug. It was built by Darman. Kiana's a 50-ton bollard pull, 2111 for all of those marine nerds out there, specifically designed for use around finger wharves and our harbour conditions. She has MARPOL Tier 3 emissions controls, the highest that's available, and she replaced our 50-year-old tug Mungatea. Now in April this year, we'll be welcoming her bigger sister, Kiowa, a 70-plus ton bollard pull tug, a 2312, to add to our fleet. So in 3 years, we will have moved from having the oldest tug fleet in New Zealand to the newest in New Zealand, increasing our readiness, resilience, and capability. Next plug is for our joint venture. This is the Marlborough Inland Hub. And this is a joint venture that we have with our partners, Centreport Wellington. And it's proof that ports can work nicely together in New Zealand. Doesn't happen often, but it's happened this time. So Marlborough Inland Hub is over 30 hectares of industrial zoned land connecting Cloudy Bay and Riverland business parks, has direct access to State Highway number 1 and the rail line. And our joint vision for this is for it to become a hub for trade and freight, an alternative supply route for Marlborough cargo. The joint venture makes use of existing capacity across the strait, connecting Marlborough to Wellington and from there the world. The beauty of the system is that it provides low cost, low kilometres solution, takes advantage of existing ferry capacity and Wellington's new MSC service and international hub at Centreport. We're already fielding a lot of inquiries, and that is going to bring new opportunities, new trade to the region. So if there's any interest, grab me after the show. So I hope that gives you a bit of a flavour of what we're doing, what's to come, and how we're being proactive in working for business and freight owners, not just for the region, but for New Zealand as a whole. Kia ora.
Thanks, Rhys. Just before you go, I've got a couple of questions that have come through Slido. The first one is the generator still not moved from the CMT location? Do you?
No idea.
Okay. To whoever's put that question in, we'll follow that up. Is the Kaiawa overkill? As from what I've learned, even the 50-ton BP can't reach the max due to the available water underneath her.
No, who said that? Come on, stand up and be publicly shamed. No, absolutely not. So part of our planning is for the future. So ships are getting larger. Larger vessels are coming in. Both all types of vessels are larger. Larger ferries are coming. Larger log ships are coming. Larger passenger ships are coming. So that requires additional capacity. The water underneath, I don't know where you're thinking of, because Marlborough Sounds has the deepest water in New Zealand. We've got the deepest berth alongside, so I'm not sure where that's coming from. It just gives us that power and additional resilience for that. Plus, looking for emergency situations too within the harbour. So yeah, it's just prudent and good practice.